Now, the Bardstown bombshells do not seem to be stopping, and tonight we know a lot more about another unsolved Bardstown murder mystery. It is our top story here on the WHAS 11 night team. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. Today in court, prosecutors said they believe they have the gun used to kill Tommy Ballard now, connecting the investigation with the death of his daughter, Crystal Rogers.
Waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
So here's how all this played out today. Prosecutors broke the news as Brooks Houck was facing a judge for the first time on charges of conspiracy to murder and tampering with physical evidence in Crystal's death. You can see video of him appearing remotely over Zoom for his hearing today. It turned into a full of new stunning developments. The arraignment hearing today. Prosecutors also accusing the Houck family of secretly recording the grand jury proceeding. And attorneys argued over Houck's $10 million bond. They want it lowered. Well, these cases have consumed the Nelson County community for many years. So we headed back there tonight for reaction. WHAS 11 night team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Aspen Hesper are talking with people in Bardstown about the new developments.
It's another shocking twist that is revealing more for Bardstown residents on edge for 8 years over different unsolved murders. Now they see the wheels of justice are starting to move for the Ballard family. Missing Crystal Rogers billboards are posted everywhere with Brooks Houck as the main suspect.
I was just really hoping for some answers for the family, and that way they could get some closure.
The Ballard family learning in a shocking court appearance a new fact. Prosecutors have the gun that they believe was used to kill Tommy Ballard, Crystal Rogers' father, in 2016. Ballard was the leader of the search for his daughter. Prosecutors say the gun was purchased from Nick Houck, the brother of Brooks Houck.
And being a former police officer, it doesn't really affect my opinion of the police force. I mean, I know there's bad apples everywhere. It doesn't affect the whole police force, entirely. So.
And several people in the community say they hope this justice will give the Ballard family the peace they need.
I think for the family, we are just praying and believing that justice will be done. They deserve that. They deserve that. They need to find out the truth.
Close friends in the entire community say it's been a long time coming. The double tragedies, the disappearance of Crystal, then the shooting death of her father. More than a year later, people here are at ease knowing new details are starting to emerge.
Hopefully they can get the answers that they so desperately have been trying to find over these past 8 years. And we're going to believe in the justice system to give that to the Ballards.
Brenda Bewley and so many others are hoping for peace to resonate through Bardstown.
That's all we want for the Ballards, is for them to get to the end of this journey, because boy, what a journey they've been through.
In Bardstown, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
So right now here tonight, we do want to take you back to this afternoon, when the drama all suddenly began in that courtroom. WHAS 11 Shay McAllister and chief photojournalist Philip Merle show us it unfolded right in front of a courtroom that could barely hold any more people.
In front of a packed courtroom, another shocker in the small-town murder mystery that just keeps twisting and turning. For the first time, we hear who investigators believe killed Tommy Ballard. Special prosecutor Shane Young saying they are currently testing a gun that belonged to Nick Houck.
We're investigating the murder of Tommy Ballard that could potentially be related to this case. We are waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
The prosecutor going into detail about why he believes it will be a match.
We know it's the same caliber. There's 5 criteria that they're looking at, and so far it's matched 4 of the 5 criteria.
In the front row of the courtroom, the Ballard family looked stunned, Sherry's eyes filling with tears. It was a moment this family has been waiting for.
That feel real good. We thought it all along, but after prosecuting Shane made that statement, we feel a whole lot better and I think it won't be too long.
He thinks Nick Houck could be the next arrest. But he and Brooks weren't the only ones from the Houck family mentioned in the courtroom. Prosecutor Shane Young accused the family of violating Kentucky law by secretly recording grand jury proceedings.
The defendant's sister, Rhonda McEvoy Houck, brother Nicholas Houck, mother Rosemary Houck, brother-in-law Alex McEvoy, and Rosemary Houck's live-in boyfriend, Larry Mott, all recorded, secretly brought in recorders and recorded the grand jury. I've been practicing here, Your Honor, for 25 years in this state, and I've yet, ever, heard of anyone recording a grand jury.
He alleged the family was trying to get their story straight, trying to solidify a lie. And as the courtroom emptied, we had some questions for Rosemary Houck, Brooks' mom.
Rosemary, the special prosecutor accused you of violating Kentucky law today. What do you have to say about that?
Your son's involved in the deaths of...
Did your son Nick kill Tommy Ballard?
Rogers. Anything you'd like to say?
Did your son kill Tommy Ballard, Miss Houck? Is there anything you'd like to say?
She didn't stop to provide any answers about her son Nick and the new accusations that he killed Tommy Ballard. But Tommy's dad had these final words.
I'm hoping he'll be the next one arrested.
In a case that continues to stun Kentucky and the nation, another bombshell comes out of court. One the Ballard family hopes is bringing them that much closer to real justice. Well, the next time we hear this case, we'll be here in Nelson County. The next court date is a preliminary hearing or pretrial hearing. It's been set for February. We do expect for that to change. The defense has already said they do not think Brooks Houck can have a fair trial here in his hometown. In Nelson County, I'm Shay McAllister for the WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Now, about that whopper of a bond, Houck's attorney, Louisville's Brian Butler, argued that the $10 million is oppressive, requesting that it be dropped down to $500,000, $500,000. Prosecutors argue it's fair, adding Houck's assets are currently worth $10 million, if not more. The judge is reviewing the request and says he's going to make a decision at a later date. Could that be tomorrow? Well, we're going to find out. Stay up to date on the latest from this case, as well as the other unsolved cases in Bardstown, right on our website at WHAS11.com. Happening news since 6 tonight. For the second night in a row, Louisville Metro police detectives are investigating a deadly shooting. Lieutenant Corey Sturgeon says officers headed to the shooting just after 7 in the St. Denis neighborhood. It happened on Kaufman Lane near Cane Run Road. When officers arrived, they found a man who had been fatally shot. Police do believe they have everyone accounted for in this shooting. All new tonight on the night team. For residents in the Highview area of Jefferson County, some answers tonight as officials shared an update on how they plan to dismantle that home full of dangerous chemicals and homemade explosives. WHAS 11 Night Team's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie share the timeline and the new details about what experts discovered inside the property.
Refining a plan to deal with something experts say they hardly ever see.
I myself have got about 25 years in this industry, and I will say in that 25 years, I've never seen anything like this.
EPA on-site coordinator Chuck Berry says the conditions inside Mark Hibble's Applegate Lane house, filled with homemade explosives, are extremely rare, but officials have a plan and a timeline to get started.
Our effort has always been to reduce the impact on the local community. I think we have some mitigation efforts where that is possible.
On-site preparations to carefully dismantle the home instead of burning it down will begin on Monday, with the actual removal process starting October 16th. Crews will remove the walls and roof first, followed by contents inside little by little. Those materials will then be processed in a steel tank buried in the backyard before they're safe to ship off to a landfill.
Now, there are still some risks to this process. Experts explained some tonight, including 500 to 1,000 containers of unknown white powder substances.
But it's not just small bottles, it's pressure cookers, it's crock pots, it's refilled pill bottles, it's refilled soap containers, it's sample jars, it's everything.
Experts explain to take the substances off-site, they first need to crush and mix the powder with soil at the property to dilute it.
But if you crush a container under pressure, that's a shock. It may go pop or bang or something while we're working. So that's actually part of our process. That's not a mistake.
People may also see smoke or smell something strange during the 10 or so day process. Experts say it would come from small, intentional burns crews may carry out. The risk for a fire outbreak is not zero, but experts have plans in place to reduce it. Fern Creek Fire will be on site at all times, along with air quality monitors from the EPA. For residents,
I am not worried about it, and I know they're going to take care of it, and I have no concerns.
No relief yet as crews prepare to carry out something rarely done before. In Highview, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11 on your side.
Louisville EMS officials say Metro government has purchased an alert system much like the one that was tested out nationally just yesterday on your cell phone. So if a residence in the certain area become an immediate risk or immediate harm, they will be notified fast. New details in the shooting that left 2 people dead and 4 others injured outside the Southern Restaurant in downtown Louisville. 38-year-old Arthur Simpson is charged with 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of assault. In court documents, he claimed he was working security for the club back in August when the shooting happened. In a taped statement, Simpson admitted that he was the shooter to police, even turning in the gun used in the shooting that night. In court today, Simpson's lawyer argued that he was acting in self-defense.
We know that Mr. Bethel had a gun on him, so we know that there are other individuals who were involved in this, which shows that he was justified in utilizing deadly force.
There is no evidence that anyone else other than the defendant fired a weapon in connection with these deaths. There is no evidence that Terrence Bethel pulled a firearm.
Well, the judge ultimately ruled against the defense, sending the case to a grand jury.